Okay.
Okay, so about 20 minutes or so, 20,
Yeah,
25 minutes.
but I'm
That's
gonna,
my
yeah,
space.
yeah, but I'm gonna say a little bit because, um, just for the record, if that's okay. Um,
Yeah.
so I met you in I think it was 20 end of 2017, 2018. I was introduced to Shraddharocani by an order member who lives in Russia, and he's part of a translation group,
Mhm.
and he saw that I was in
Yeah.
Japan, and maybe I had connections with some Japanese people because he was wanting to assist Shraddharocani with translation work, and he was, I think, just trying to connect people with you. So it might have been
Mm.
through him, and it might have been through my preceptor Buddhadasa, who has been your friend for a long time. He
Mm.
had mentioned you before, but we met in 2017, 2018, and Shraddharochan is really
Mm.
easy to get to know, very friendly, very warm-hearted. Uh, we laughed a lot, I think, when we, we caught up online, and um, uh, Shraddharochan, he's got a strong desire to communicate Buddhism, particularly in Japanese. And when uh, when she was ordained in 2022, was it the 1st of April? Yeah,
Mm.
you you were given the name by your preceptor Akashamati, she who is radiant in faith. Is that correct? Radiant with faith or
Yes.
radiant in faith?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. You're correct. Yeah.
Okay, and Akashamadi, correct me if I'm wrong. She spoke about you having a quiet inner force that led you out initially to from Japan and traveling and led you to this small little town in Thames, New Zealand, where you found the Dharma. You and Fraser found the Dharma,
Mm.
and sort of coming back out of that force has led you back to Japan, and that
Mm.
inner Shraddha, sort of confidence and force for good, you could say, that radiance is now sort of radiating out from that, maybe from that point of ordination in a way you could see it, and turning that warm light on Japan. So yes, Shraddharochan has been translating in with this project probably before we met, and it's the text that you're going to talk about. Um, you've been when we met, it was quite, and we met Susanna, and it's a kind of strange project with Tokyo and Triratna because we're all online since 5 years. Well, 5 years with Shraddharocani, and met you once in Auckland for a couple of
Mm.
hours. I met Susanna for 3 weeks or stayed with you in 3 weeks. So we've been mainly online, and Shraddharocani has been translating online with Dhammasara and a very specific editorial board, which because Bhante Sangharakshita's teaching, we want to preserve the spirit, but also the letter. So it's a lot. It's a really hard job, and there is a lot. I'm sure Shraddharocani feels a lot of pressure from Sangharakshita's literary executors who live in Adhisthana, and uh, it's they're wanting. There's a whole sort of group of translators that want to preserve Bhante in different languages. So she's got that task, that really weighty task of translating Bhante into Japanese. But um, it sounds like you're doing a great job, and it's without without you doing that, the Dharma won't be able to go to Japan. So
Mm.
um, well done, and I'm really keen to hear you talk about the major sort of work you are translating into Japanese at the moment. You're going to talk about that which was a series of lectures by Sangharakshita given in New Zealand, where you live, in 1975. And it's a focus on 3 characteristics of enlightenment, I think. So, without further ado, I'll hand over to Shraddharocani before I lose my voice.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Leopoldo. Yes. Because last week and this week, the theme, Buddha's birthday, Buddha's day. So quickly, I just these 3 characteristics of the state of enlightenment, it's pop up because my project, translation project, I've been working with tiny, very thin book. That's for more than a few years. And at the moment, we're still reworking with women's Dhamsara and I. Dhamsara from Berlin. He's a German guy. Going through again. Oh, yeah. So that's what I'm doing this year. So these 3 things came up that tonight I want to share with you. And also how I can cooperate with my daily life. So it's not things in a Dharma book, just as a knowledge. Memorize 3 of this and 4 of that and 5 of that. Lots of these number things in a Buddhist, studying. But no, more like, yeah. So these 3 things now is part of me because I've been working this book quite a long time. And so tonight I want to share with you. So these 3 things, what is enlightenment, under the title, subtitle, what is enlightenment, and Bhante talking about different tradition Buddhist schools exist in the world, but all different schools still talking about these 3. That's the common things that he said. And one is awareness, state of awareness. So 3 characteristics of the state of enlightenment. It's very difficult to imagine for us. For us, we as unenlightened human beings. So how be like being enlightened? So that's kind of imagination, a huge imagination for me. And Bhante really breaking down, it's really easy to not grasp, but easy to just at least imagine. It's the imagination. So first is awareness, state of awareness, or state of knowledge, or awareness of things as they really are, or reality, big capital R, reality. All these big words here. But thing is, what's it talking about? There's no subject and object in your daily life, in your world. That's huge, isn't it? No subject and object, the duality. Can you imagine in your everyday life? Not you and me, not in and out. But that's Buddha and enlightened work in the person's world, not you and me. It's whole one. It's much, much beyond that world, you and me. So astonishing, this statement, beyond my imagination. So that's one thing, first thing. So the state of awareness, no duality. So that's first thing. And the second thing is love and compassion. But the level of love and compassion, again, it's extraordinary. And it's very famous discourse, the Metta Sutta. It's old sutta. It's a discourse of loving kindness. And in there, it's very famous lines. Buddha says, just as a mother protects her only son, even at the cost of her own life, so should one develop a mind of awe, embracing love towards all living beings. So I'm a mother of two. I have two sons. And since I become mom, I really learned what's the unconditional love. Before I didn't know what that means. Me as a center of the universe. But once I become mother, my world utterly changed. I could, I could die. I could give my life to my sons. But then again, I cannot do the same thing to other people. So that's my level. So that's my own starting point, me as a mother. And the Buddha said, so that an extraordinary, intense love, unconditional love, but not only your son or your daughter, you are loving your family, to everyone. But then again, it's not only all human beings, he's saying all living beings. How extraordinary. So that's, second thing. And third one, it's energy, vigor or energy. So his energy means mental and spiritual energy, vigor. That's again extraordinary. Because he became Buddha when he was 35 or 35 or 36. And he died at 80. An 80-year old. And his body, physical body, was really, later his life, it is said it's very fragile. But his mental vigor, always so strong. And he said, well, my body is so fragile, but anyone come to me asking question, I could answer. So that's he was saying. That's another, extraordinary things. So these three, awareness or knowledge, and love and compassion, and energy, these three things as three characteristics of the state of enlightenment. So here I am, last few years or maybe longer, often I'm thinking about these three things, especially when something happens, some event happened in my life, and I'll get really annoyed or get angry, and I feel, that's me here, as at the just a not enlightened human being. Here I am. But then, if Buddha had the same experience, of course he wouldn't feel like this. He wouldn't get angry or be annoyed or. So then I feel the huge gap of myself and Buddha. So so that's interesting how extraordinary thing being that state of enlightened, enlightened mind. So it's how I compare myself where I am and him. So in the same way, I used to just after I start studying Dharma, and of course I want to be a good Buddhist. I'm now as a Buddhist, and I would be good person. So I used to kind of skipping to look after myself. So now I'm talking about the second one, love and compassion. But I really miss to give myself love and compassion, look after myself. And one example, around the same time, when my family of four, my children still young, and my husband, myself, and Darshan City, my husband, old friends come to our place, just separated, broke up in the relationship, nowhere to go, and just appeared to our house. So ended up we took him and let him stay our place and feeding him. And I cook every day and another friends come. So one stage, two extra adult men living with us, busy family, two children, and so 4 plus 2. And I, yeah, I took literally, wow, Dharma said, love, kind to everyone. So I just did it. And also around the same time, but a few months gap, a strange person, unknown person come and start living with us. Again, I said, yeah, okay. And what happened ended up because I didn't look after myself and I didn't know my limit. I just say yes, 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 and keep giving to my energy and physical space. And and I couldn't handle well. I became really unhappy and stressed, of course. Um, and I start being kind of nasty. I become nasty person to my husband and my children because I'm so stressed and tired. And I couldn't say no. Every people come to me, help me, help me. And I say yes, yes, yes. And ended up because I just miss myself to look after myself. Then ended up I made my own family unhappy because me as mom and wife, I wasn't happy. And I become short tempered. And it's really bad experience because I didn't know my limit and I didn't know the balance of look after myself and look after other people. So that's my, very big and a good experience. I learned a lot after that. Mm. So it's mixed up my case, compassion, being compassionate to others. Then, well, nowadays I'm learning to be good to look after myself, be compassionate to myself. I can say, so that's another thing. And also bigger, and the third one, energy. This one, my thought I want to share with you here. You know, he's so energetic and vigorous in the mental and spiritual area. But in his time, he didn't eat 3 meals a day, just one alm, just anything he got from local people, village people. He couldn't choose, just leftover food. That's his main meal, and only one a day in the morning. And he walked everywhere, no car, no pushback even. He walked everywhere. And I didn't sleep 8 hours a day. That's very sure. Probably 2 hours, I guess, because that's he's teaching to human beings daytime and nighttime. The sutta said nighttime he's teaching to God and goddess and the spirit. And after that, he just quietly during a walking meditation. So that's the record say. So he didn't sleep like we doing, lying down 6 hours or 8 hours a day. Can you imagine? He's really superhuman being. Quite wow, not quite, just amazing. He's super human being, not usual normal human being. Because one meal, not enough sleep, walk everywhere, and he lived until 80. 80. So that's showing how he was extraordinary and how that being enlightened, the enlightenment that speaks about. And to me, it's a body and the mind, it's really in one. Often, well, in this modern world, Western world, body, especially Western medicine, separate body and mind nowadays. But this example of Buddha's life, I really believe body and mind is one. And yeah, spiritual vigor, it's affect our physical body, physical health, and vice versa. That's my own thought. And myself, when I was maybe just after second son finished breastfeeding, and my health it's really declined. So some stage I was really unhealthy. I have to give up being vegetarian about maybe 4 or 5 years. And at that times I have to take this, that, lots of supplement. Not medication, but lots of supplement. And ended up that I'm living to take supplement. I couldn't enjoy my life because supplement is before breakfast, after meal, between meals, so many different supplements I have to take. And so I couldn't enjoy eating, you know, I couldn't enjoy my life. And I forced my boys, my children, just no junk food, only healthy food. And they complain. Of course, they complain. I won't have this and that, junk food, like other friends having in their lunchbox, muesli bar or a small bag of chips or, that kind of. But I didn't buy. So I was really rigid mother. And look back and now I'm much more softened up. And more, nowadays I cannot relax around the food, especially this Buddha's example. Actually, what we eat is not really big thing because he didn't choose what he ate. He just ate anything he was given. And he was so-called, we say, healthy. Live until 80 in that condition 2,500 years ago in India. So this fact really helped me to relax around the diet, what I eat. One time, I still remember my second son when he was in primary school. He told me, "Mom, because I was really rigid, what I giving them," and he really not happy about that. He wants chocolate, he wants chips, he wants junk food, and he said, "Look, Mom, what you're doing, because you don't give me chips, and that's make me stressed. It's stressed my body, so that stress make me unhealthy. That's my son told me. He was, I don't know, maybe 10, about 9 or 10 years old. And now, now I remember, often I remember that word. And yes, you are right. Now me, I can say, you are right. That's true. But that times me, of course, oh, what you're talking about? You're just talking rubbish. I didn't take it. Um, so that's me, myself. I changed quite a lot, well, over how many years? 15, 20 years. I changed a lot. And yeah, back to tonight topic, these three characteristics of the state of enlightenment. I could see how changed I am now. Now it's me, and say 15 years ago it's myself. So not giving not giving me hard time, more like yes, a gap, huge gap still there. Now it's me and enlightened state, the state of enlightenment, the mental state. But still, I can see myself changing slowly in a better way, slowly closer the huge gap, and I can be content around that instead of compare and disparate. I'm not like that. I'm not good. Again, that's old me. I was doing that often. Oh, I wish I could do this and that. But now I stop. Yeah, I was taught don't compare with other people. That's your own path. Because one time I said, Ryokan, famous Japanese poet and monk, Ryokan, famous when, I think it's Ryokan, when he saw a mosquito sucking the blood from his arm, and he gave more, he he exposed on arm the skin, so give on blood more to more mosquitoes, feeding feeding to more mosquitoes. So that's quite famous story about Ryokan. But I felt that times me, oh no, I cannot do that. So I'm bad. So that's my mentality, say 15 years ago. I cannot do that. And the senior order member told me, don't compare. Don't compare. So that's still my good advice. Don't compare with Ryokan or other famous Buddhist or Lama, because I'm not. But still, I'm just carry on doing this my own pace. That is enough. Yeah. So that's me tonight. Yeah. So yeah, objectively, I recognize the gap. Objectively, then yeah, recognize and carry on my own practice without comparing other people, and to be open to receive the comment from our spiritual friends, which is very important. I cannot do this by myself. So the Sangha and the spiritual friend is very important. And yeah, wisdom and openness. So study also important. The openness and the Sangha friends, it's also very important. Yeah. So I don't know. In this life, I can get enlightened or not. Who knows? The thing is, just carry on, keep doing. So that's the thing. Yeah. Thank you. That's from me.
Thank you, Shraddharocani. That was lovely. I really appreciate you drawing out those qualities with such imagination, and
Yeah.
so it's really simple, but he kind of showed really quite up close the the qualities of awareness and what it's like to be awakened, and your personal experience of being a mum as well, with love and compassion. And but as you say, you can see the gap, but more objectively now, and you can recognize your own qualities and that you have changed, and it
Mm.
takes time and patience, and friendship, being in communication. That's why the Sangha jewel is a jewel. It can't be
Mm.
separate from the Buddha and Dharma. And the I just love the way you evoked, I mean, the whole the whole sort of world of diet, and you know, following a, a we can all sort of follow our, I sort of speak for myself, the way I go about my diet, and um, but I lack that energy, and the way you evoked that energy of the Buddha being able to eat scraps every day, and then live into 80 in medieval India, or pre-medieval India, with such vigor, even though his body, he said, was just strapped together like an old cart.
Mm.
He was still teaching
Mm. Mm.
right up to the moment he
Mm.
lay down and died. His physical body died. So um, I really loved the way you, really simply, but sort of really evocatively, in that imaginative awareness kind of way, you did that. Your radiance, there you go. The Rochni.
Thank you. Thank you.